Hi everybody. So this is the mission Menat Khufu. It is my fourth game of Pharaoh, and I've played Caesar 3 before that, about maybe 10 to 20 games. So I'm just going to share my experience, no pro tips or anything. I would say overall this mission is either easy or medium level. I'm not really familiar with how the missions are here. I just play randomly. So I'm playing at normal difficulty, and I should say that this is a peaceful mission, so you don't have to do any of this. Just I did it because I didn't know, because in Caesar sometimes it says it's a peaceful mission, but it's really not. But you don't need to do any of this. So maybe I should start with saying that this is what you have as a given in the beginning: these houses, this granary, this ferry landing, and a couple of work camps, and also this pyramid. And I know many people choose to delete all of this and start fresh, but I don't really think it's worth the money, so I just left it. And as you can see, I don't have problems with this area. I never did. So you don't have to delete it. It's up to you, really. Start with about 8,000 Devon, and you need to open some trade routes to be able to have more money. So let's start with that. It's fairly simple. You don't have a lot of choice, really. What I did was to start trading with this city at first, and also this one. So to this city I sold barley and beer, and to this city I sold linen, and this was really more than enough to have enough money. I never had money problems. A few times I gave from my personal savings to the city because I just wanted to finish faster, but I could have just waited. I think some people import clay to make pottery, but I just imported the pottery themselves from these two cities. You can also import the stones you need for the monument from here. And that's about it. You don't have many options. So I started with the two industries, and I developed a lot of farm areas and industry areas to the south here, because it was just easy access to everything I needed. You have 4 types of farms you can build. And you need barley and flax for the industry, but it's also important to have the fruits, because you're going to be asked by other cities to send them fruits, and you don't really want to piss off Pharaoh, because he is going to destroy your city. Now, I would say it's really important to keep the gods happy here, so you have proper amounts of food and exports and trading potential. I saw some people saying that they had problems with the farmland not being good enough, so they don't get a lot of food out of it. But if you keep the gods happy, then you shouldn't have any problems. I never did. I even had to delete granaries and build them again empty so I can store the food in them. My main strategy is to keep Bast happy, because then she keeps Ra and Osiris happy, and they also give me their blessings. So that's, as you see, I didn't really have to build a lot of temples or anything, just a few festivals, or more than a few. And since you have a lot of beer that you produce, then that shouldn't be a problem. Most of the time I had about 15,000 barley and 10 to 12,000 beer, so it was never a problem in that respect. Now, the reason I started to import pottery rather than make it myself was because I didn't have enough employees available. so that was going to ruin my other industries at the moment. And you can see you need a lot of pottery because you have to send these bureau provisions to the pyramid. So what I did was that first I sent the pottery. It was, I think, 4,600 the pottery I had to send, and then I started to stockpile it again. So when I had enough, the maximum that I set, about 5,000, I started to distribute it. And first I started with this neighborhood, and then when I saw it was stable and the trade advisors bought more pottery, I moved on to this one and then to the next one and so on. So this is a way to avoid your houses evolving and devolving and evolving and devolving, which is really bad for the city. Another thing is when you import the stones for the monuments, which are this one and this one, maybe make sure not to have too much else going on, like building a lot of buildings, because it takes money and you might end up in debt. Because you have to import pottery and papyrus, so it's a lot of money. This is pretty much it. I didn't even have to use the whole farmland here because all the time I had too much of everything. I had to delete storage yards over and over again because they were just filled with barley and beer and whatnot. It was very easy for me to have a lot of everything on this map. You just need to make sure to keep the gods happy, and that's pretty much it, I guess. Just to mention that I put the palace here because these houses wouldn't evolve near the granary, so it makes the area really good. So that's something you can do. Now I want to say a few things about the cultural rating. So when I was about to finish, it was 50, and it said I needed some dentists, so I put a bunch of dentists, and it jumped to 55. And then it wouldn't move because it wanted jugglers. So I had about 10 houses, like small houses without jugglers, and I gave them that, and the rating wouldn't go up. So what I did was to place all these Senet houses, and it went up to 65. So I don't know if I didn't wait long enough or if it was something else, but this solved the problem for me. And overall, that's it. I don't think there is anything special about this mission or something you need to be extra careful about. As I said, just make sure you set up the industry early with the 2 cities, and then when you have the pottery, just distribute it neighborhood by neighborhood by telling your bazaars what to buy and what to sell. It's really important that when you start making or importing the pottery, you tell the bazaars not to buy it. So that was one of the more important things. But it's of course the same with every map like this, where you need to import the pottery, or you just when you start the industry you don't want to give it to the houses right away because they are going to devolve. So this is it. I'm going to show you everything here so you know how it is and you can compare to your city. It's really strange to have the barley at 0 because, as I said, it was mostly about 15,000 most of the time. I would like to hear your tips. As I said, I'm new at the game, so maybe I missed something important, but as I said, I find the mission fairly easy, and I hope that maybe the video is useful to you so you can have a fun time as well.